Alright, so after 20 hours of building, farming, and figuring out the quirks of Sengoku Dynasty on Xbox, I've got some thoughts. This isn't a formal review, just real impressions from someone who spent serious time in the game. And I'll show you my village here, talk about how it runs on console and how it compares to PC. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about performance and stability. So you can play it in third person or first person here. You flick between the different camera angles using left on the D-pad. And you can see as I move around the village here, things are nice and smooth. We've got workers working away there in the carpentry area of the village. And everything works fine. We can sprint around here. You can see we've got no screen tearing. There's no weird jittering for the most part. But occasionally you'll see some redraw issues. But they're pretty minor and a lot better than I've seen in games of this nature before. So I really like that. The detail of all of the plants you can see is very clean and crisp, so great job there. Now, performance is one thing. What about stability? Well, I've played it for over 20 hours, and this is impressive. I've not had a single crash, so well done, developers, for releasing a nice, stable game. The game's not actually been out on console very long at all, only a few days, and it's great to see it's this stable straight away. I think there was an update pretty much the same day or the day after, so they're on the case, keeping an eye to make sure things are stable, but you can see it all works really, really well. Now, an obvious worry is when you come to the controls and the UI, when you move from PC where you've got loads of buttons and you try and narrow that all down to a controller. Does it work? Yeah, they've done a good, solid job of this. So things are nice and clear. There's lots of little hints. So down below there, you can see if I want to handcraft, it tells me what D-pad button to press. And then when I come in here, I can craft away. So it shows me I can craft more. There's some minor things like I would like a little hint there to press A or RB to craft it. It just shows craft more there, but we're still in early stages. But if I hit A there, we've collected a stone axe, so that's good. And the handcrafting system works quite nice with other things as well. It walks you through it, but if you select another tool here with the hot slot or the quick slot menu here, and then I press on the hammer, then we look at this menu here, and the game does teach you about these things, but we can go into different things here. For example, we could build a basic structure, campfire, or a travel tent. Have a little look at that, and you can see we delve into each of these menus, and it tells us what resources we need. So for a small tent, we need sticks and grass. That's pretty clear. We select the tent there. We get a nice green highlight where we can put it. We can't put it on top of an existing area like this field, but I could pop it here. So let's just do that. And then when we go up to it, you can see we get a nice hint saying deliver resources. And as I hit this down the bottom left-hand side, you can see that it's showing me how the building works. So really nicely implemented for the core UI work there and the control system. Also, if we go into the menu system using screens on the Xbox, you can see, again, everything is correctly labeled. So when we're looking at things down the bottom, we've got hints what things mean. So if I wanted to eat this cooked meat, I just hit X. If I want to move it around, I can hit A and move that there, swap them around there. We can also put things in the quick slots over here. So swapping them around here. A minor thing which I would love to be a little bit better is it would be great if I could quick switch between things rather than have to go here. So for example, if I've got a bow on and I want to, if I'm in the middle of combat, something's rushing at me, as far as I'm aware, I've got to go here and click that to get to it. I'd love some sort of cycle command to make that a little bit easier to help with combat, but maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I just thought I'd point that out. But you can see things look really, really nice here. You can't accidentally stab your villagers, or just warning that you can't do that. So that's quite cool. And when we want to go back to empty hand, we do that there. So fine on the UI and interface. As we go through, that's all correctly named with other things as well. So everything is pretty sensible, really. So we go to the way of the warrior here. And if we want to level up something here, you can see it's this unlock perk. And we have the usual thing that we need to hold down to make sure that we are happy with that. If we go through to the quests, we can rename quests. And a minor issue is you see it's currently highlighting open the gates. It's not that clear to me. I prefer that to be a brighter color or something a bit easier to know what I'm picking here. And some sort of hint what button to press would be good as well. So there's not that on the screen as far as I can see. So if I hit A there, we've got this pop up. And then you can see we do get a hint there, X to track the quest. And that will change the quest tracking on the main screen. You've also got things like the little icons that pop up the top left, and sometimes those things aren't too clear what they mean. But I do know one of those means that we are needing to assign a job to someone. So if we go to the jobs here in Dynasty, we can see various things here. And the other one that we've got, the tool, is missing. So this one here, and I'll show you a bit of craft in there. So let's say we want to sort out some weapons. This is one of the buildings that I built. And this has got a woodworking table in it. We can craft stuff here. So let's craft a weapon. So you can see I can't craft the bronze yari yet, but I can craft this copper yari because I've got the right materials. And I could also build up with other things. So build a bit of rope here. And then I go back to those weapons again, build a short bow. And then I can assign those to the worker who needs them. Or I can pop them in storage and they should pick them up over time. But in this case, I'll just show you how we assign stuff. So we go to the post here, and then we can see, again, this is a little bit gentle with that yellow box. I prefer that to be that little bit clearer. But you can see there's the bow that I had. And then I'm hitting B to go back, and then we'll assign that, and that's all good. So we can assign different tools there if we wish. So we've got the different tools, but we'll assign that one there. So that's good. The UI, all no problems. You can see the map works well. We've got nice clear things with the zoom in, zoom out works well. And we've also got a knowledge base with lots of little tutorials here. If you don't mind your text ones, there is some videos through here. But again, pretty solid job there of giving you some help to get started in the game. So what about the gameplay itself? Is it a fun game to play? I really enjoy this game. I did also enjoy its sister game Medieval Dynasty, which was made some time before. And this one is set in feudal Japan. We start off as a survivor of a shipwreck, and then we have to build a life for ourselves and also recruit different people to here. So here's a refugee who's come here, wants to join my village. You can talk to them, say what's your story, hear a bit about them, and then you can just say live with us if you want. We need settlers, and then you need to give them a home. And also, so we'll have a little look, see whether we can do this. We can just go to the menu system here and see whether we've got any spare places for them. So if we look at the population under Dynasty and go all the way down, we should see we've got a couple of people here. So we've got refugee departing, assign home. And this is a little bit vague there. I have to select this. And then you can see it's a little bit awkward to select what I want. So I'm going to have a little look at that again. So I select it here. And then sometimes it won't register. There it has. So I need to do this one first by the looks of things. So I've hit down on the D-pad there to assign the home. And then we look at the village here, and then we have to look if anywhere's got a free bed. The mining post does. So we'll say we'll put them here. And again, you can see that orange tab there. It's not that clear, but there we go. We've picked a home for them. You then can look for jobs as well. So we right click here. And if we wanted to assign someone, for example, to the herbalist station, we could select this. Up the top there, assign worker. And again, just a little bit gentle on this thing there, so hopefully they'll improve that. But we can see these two don't have a job, so we'll select this one here, and then we can say what we want produced. So we can say we want some healing brew here, select this, and then go over to the plus here, and then we just move this up. So that's how we would do that. But the idea is, you know, we go around, we find refugees to help with the village, and then we also build stuff as well. So, you know, that works quite well. You saw a bit of the building there, and obviously things like the buildings themselves take a while to unlock. You need to fulfill certain objectives to do that. But I've got all sorts of things here. I've got a hunting post in here where I've got a hunter going off to get meat. I can make stuff here with this hunter's workbench that are specialist. So I can get ammunition, for example. We could craft some arrows or simple arrows here. And we assign the people to help out hunting. So although I can hunt as well, having someone automatically go out to hunt makes it much easier to gather stuff. We've also got some help here. This guy helps you out when you start out in the game, so that works quite well. And there's, as well as the crafting of the village, there's different ways of gathering food. So you can farm. So this is some gobo that I planted on a field. Now I've assigned a villager to work on collecting that gobo. This is a mining place which automatically gathers stone for us. And the system, when we look at that hammer again, basically as you do more things in the game, and you'll unlock additional stuff. So if we look at buildings, production buildings, these are the ones I've unlocked so far. And then the next one, the kitchen, I need to reach dynasty level 9 before I can get that. And if we have a little look on that sub menu there, this is the dynasty level that I'm at the minute, legend 8. And I can get additional legend by doing things like quests. So these are various quests we could do. So recruitment quests, for example. So we can have a little look at this, pick a home for this dude here, Tohachiro, in the Dynasty tab. And if we do that, we'll get that quest completed. So we go to the population and have a little look for that dude. There he is. Assign a home and see if we've got someone free. If not, we could sort that out. But we've got a free bed there like so. And then we would need to sort that out. But you can see that. It now switches to another one, so we got that quest completed, and we got 250 XP for that. So when we look at the dynasty now, we're still at 8, but we're close to a level 9. So you got that leveling system there. We've also got this one here, which you can develop the different ways by working in one of these ways. So if you fight lots, you'll progress way of the warrior. If you build lots, you'll progress way of the craftsman. If you just do general stuff in your village, you're going to progress way of the leader. And way of the monk helps you specialize in one of these areas here. And you can also develop it however you see fit. As well as that, though, it's not just this basic village here. The idea is that you free these regions, you liberate them. So there's baddies that you've got to beat. So in this area here, I need to defeat the looters camp here. It's actually just behind my camera, which I'll just hide for a second so you can see. So I need to basically get rid of some enemies here. I think I've already liberated this one. But this one here, I need to construct a watchtower, defeat the bandit leader, defeat bandits. This one over here, construct a watchtower. So there's lots of places to explore. There's villages that you find, shrines you can discover. You can go hunting with these things here. Lots of stuff that you can enjoy. So what about Sengoku Dynasty PC versus Xbox? Which one would I play on? And, is there a big disadvantage to either of them? They're both really nice to play. I have no problem playing on either platform. Graphics look very similar on both to me. You've got a slight advantage on the PC with the keyboard and mouse, that it's a little quicker to maybe navigate some of the menus and click between certain things. But on the Xbox, it's perfectly playable. I like the interface system, and of course, playing on Xbox, you have the advantage you go and play on a giant TV in the living room, whereas your PC is probably sitting on a desk and not quite so accessible, or certainly doesn't tend to be on a big TV screen. So that works well. Another slight advantage of the PC is it's been out longer, and there's likely some mods available to adapt the game if you so wish. I haven't looked much into that, but typically, you get mods available for games. The advantage of the Xbox, though, is because it's a set platform and you know what the hardware is, you're not going to run into any hardware issues with your graphics card because everybody's playing with the same hardware, whereas on the PC you might. It worked absolutely fine on my PC, but I know that might not be the case for most people. So there you go, a bit of Sengoku Dynasty on Xbox for you there. If that was useful to you, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If you're going to play it and you're getting a bit confused and you need some help with tutorials, have a little look around my channel. I'm going to be adding all sorts of tutorials on the game, and let me know what you need help with. Thanks.